What's the worst thing you've ever done when horny? October 30th, 1991. I walked 8 miles through hurricane-force winds on Nantucket Island to spend the night with my girlfriend. Masturbated to the Archer Queen in Clash of Clans. Not me but my step-brother when he was a teen put his dick into the mouthpiece of a plastic flute. And blew himself. My stepmom walked in on him and now every few Christmas he gets one as a gag gift. I ended up making out with and going home with an attractive but completely crazy woman who used to hang around our local bar. Back at her place she puts on her Lauryn Hill CD. Strips completely naked, attempts to dance provocatively, we were both pretty drunk, and starts giving me a BJ. It was at this point her 18-year-old son wandered into the lounge and started protesting violently about what was going on. She tells him to fuck off and huge argument erupts between them. Remember she's drunk and naked. And I'm sitting on the sofa with my jeans around my ankles and a rapidly deflating hard-on. I came to my senses. Zipped back up and GTFO. Apparently she's currently doing time for violently assaulting and attempting to stab her boyfriend. So I think I got off pretty light. Had sex because I was going to get a vasectomy soon and knew my companion pickle would be out of action for a while. Wore a condom. It split. Now I have a 6-year-old. Stupidest best decision I ever made. Went to buy a vibrator from a local large supermarket and bought a happy birthday card and gift bag with it too so it looked like a gift. Flew 15 hours to another continent to see a former FWB. Completely forgetting the important why regarding former. Charmed my way back into her good graces. Spent 2 days not leaving the room of a pricey hotel with her. Only to be stabbed with a fork. Still had sex with her one more time and then left with blood running down my arm for the airport. I still get the occasional passionate message from her and I would be lying if I'm not tempted to go back. Sometimes toxic sex is the best sex. Edit. Additional context. She kept the fork after I left the hotel. Sometimes she sends me a sexy selfie. Sometimes she sends me a picture of the fork. Sometimes both. Jerked off in the private work bathroom, forgot to lock the door and the new guy walked in on me and he quit a week after. I was sick with something that forced me to the toilet for literally the entire day. If I thought I was done I would go lay back down only to get right back up and have to shit again. Well, I figured since I was gonna be in there so long I had time to rub one out. I mean, that wasn't false, I had the time. So I did just that. Well, it worked up the sickness and shortly after I finished I was overheating and sweating and just not feeling good. I started shitting again pretty good and felt a vomit coming on. So here I am with shit all over my ass. Cum on my stomach. And I'm hunched over a toilet throwing up who knows what. Not my finest hour. Send nude to stranger recently met on internet. They then sextored me. Fun times. The standard. Fucked myself with a vegetable. Masturbated at work. Sexted some guy from back in the day. Etc. Joined a sperm donation app. And met with a girl from there on a whim. Stuck my dick in a vacuum cleaner hose. Don't make my mistake. One time I made love to a stack of bathroom towels. Pretty much everything I have done while horny. It's just a generally undignified state to be in. Female friend in our group was super upset at a karaoke bar. Some drunk guy said something. She's in tears. As the least drunk I am voluntold to drive her home and do not have sex. She invites me in for coffee so I can sober, wake up to drive home and we agree no sex. We had sex twice before passing out and twice again the next day. Was completely shit-faced at a party and lost my friends. Met a girl there while smoking. Next thing I know we're in the restroom. Have no clue how I got there. Proceeded to have sex until we heard knocks on the bathroom door. Made up a story about her being sick and me helping her. They don't buy it. Got kicked out of the club and all my friends had to leave the party. Because I couldn't get in anymore. Meet a girl 2 years later who I'm into. Turns out that girl from the bathroom is her girlfriend. I smelled my friend's mom's panties that were on the floor and did a dry heave because it wasn't good at all. Very drunk and horny. Dry humped my first fling at a college party. Everyone was there. The lights were still on and everything. I still cringe. At least he seemed to enjoy it, I guess. And at least everyone was as drunk as me. Midway into taking my time with this girl making ruthless sex, she said in broken moans, "Come for me." Which I thought she said, "Comfort me." So I stopped and gave her a hug. Helped a hot coworker stalk her supervisor. I'm in my early 20s working a small warehouse job for the summer in my hometown. I've got the awkward hots for this older woman, Tina. None of these names are real. Who just seems so much out of my league that I don't even try. One day we've got a bit of banter going, and before I realize what I've done, I ask if she wants to hang out. She asks if I have a car. I do. She says yes. So we're hanging out at her place. She's telling me stories that are like holy shit, and the beers are going fast. Then she gets a bit of a lost look in her eyes. Goes quiet. And then asks if we can go for a ride. We're out driving around. She's telling me how she used to go driving every night but got a DWI hanging over her for another few months. Then she starts giving me direction on where to go. A bit later we're in a cul-de-sac and she tells me to park and points out a spot. Cool. We're gonna make out, I think. Instead she just sits there staring at this one house. Looking in the front window I see Bill. Again. Not his real name. Our supervisor. Holy shit, what is going on here? She tells me that her and much older Bill used to have a thing, but he refused to leave his wife and kids. That he has totally ghosted her because he thinks she's too obsessive, but she can't stop thinking about him. I hear red alert go off in my head and I get the car started. She turns to me, looks me straight in the eyes, and start undoing my pants. I turn the car off. For the next half hour we just sit there silently staring straight ahead at Bill's place while she gives me a slow hand job, eventually finishing me off with a blowjob and me driving her home. So we ended up doing this for the rest of the summer. Never had sex. Her pants never came off. Never kissed. September came and I left town for my next semester at uni. Got married and raised a family. Just in case anyone will need this. Before going on a date or going out drinking, or if you feel that you are going to cheat on your partner, or basically whatever that you know you'll regret because you are just horny. Masturbate first. The post-nut clarity will provide you wisdom on the next decisions you will make. Thread lightly. Let my ex-husband and 3 of his friends have sex with me when they finished helping us move into our new house, while I was 6 months pregnant. Drunkenly called a phone sex line. But was so horny and drunk that I didn't clue until after I hung up that I had used my father's landline instead of my cell phone. That was an awkward talk the next day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.